It's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beats. Engines roar, can't stay off seats. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. NFR, NFR. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. We go SAFRL the show. Engines roar, lights will glow. Feel the rush, feel the flow. Every lap, a twist, a turn. Speeding fast, rubber burn. Crowds cheer, hearts churn. Victory, what we yearn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. Crashes, spins on the track. Up and down, who's coming back? Champions rise, no slack. Push to the front, never back. Pit stops, precision, gold. Strategy, daring, bold. Who will lead, not foretold. Speed and skill, tales unfold. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride.
Just one more thing before I go, before I let you take the throne. You go right and I stay left. And if you ever get too close, you'll know my name before I go. They love me, then they love you now. But don't forget there's one more round. Oh, the pain, I know it will, but I wear it like a crown. I am a fighter. Before this fight is over, you'll know my name before I go. 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 Just one more thing before I go. Before I let the curtain close. You can take the spotlight now, but when the lights are low, you'll still hear my echo. They build you up, then tear you down. But I won't make a sound, 'cause I've been here before, and I'll be here when you're gone. I am a fighter. Before this fight is over, you'll know my name before I go. 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 No, I won't fade away. No, I won't break today. I've got one more thing to say before I go. You know my name 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 before I go. Before I go. Before I go. There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just try. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. Take it to the edge where I have died 1,000 times, and maybe I could be the one to ride into the setting sun tonight. Just drive, breathing Frustrated while I'm waiting on a miracle. I know the world is full of different kind of people. I know I'm strong, walking down the street and I'm feeling so invisible. You talk to me like I'm not your equal. I know I'm strong. Feel like I could break out, break out. I could use some space now to breathe out. The pressure's on me. You asked me to be something like me. Why you trying to paint me like your enemy? Feel like I could break out into something just like me. Calling in the lines, yeah, I ain't so predictable. The world is a haystack and I am the needle. I don't belong. Why you trying to turn me into something so typical? There you go again, waiting on the sheeple. They won't belong. Feel like I could break out, break out. I could use some space now to breathe out. The pressure's on me. You asked me to be something like me. Why you trying to paint me like your enemy? Feel like I could break out into something just like me. Into something just like me. Feel like I could break out, break out. Feel like I could break out, break out. Pressure's on me. You asked me to be something like me. Why you trying to paint me like your enemy? Feel like I could break out into something just like me. 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 Into something just. Under neon lights and engine screams, she's the guardian of our speed-filled dreams. With skull and flight and alien on the chase, she's the calm in the storm, our guiding grace. Andre by her side, loyal and strong, their love's been racing all along. But it's the brotherhood she holds so near. With every lap she makes it clear. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid. With every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Trophies shine, but not like her pride. Watching Skull and Andre glide. She's there in silence, she's there in roar, in every circuit, every lore. From midnight spins to dawn's first light, she's always there holding us tight. No crash too deep, no curve too wide. With her in spirit, on down, she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach, she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. She ain't just a fan, she's a legacy born through every F1 storm we wore. Holding the line, fierce and unseen, forever our monarch, our Death Queen. Whoa, Death Queen, heart of the grid. With every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Our voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach, she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Queen in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Yeah, oh Death Queen, you are the queen of our sim racing team.
Like a shooting star, the engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR. The rubber burns, feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR. Burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR. Calls to play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR. Burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. And now Fernando calls to play on NFR race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR. Burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. Death Queen, the top support to see. In the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see.
It's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beat. Engines roar, can't stay off seats. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. Track like a shooting star. Feel the rush. NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Go. Victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. We go SAFRL the show. Engines roar, lights will glow. Feel the rush, feel the flow. Every lap, a twist, a turn. Speeding fast, rubber burn. Crowds cheer, hearts churn. Victory, what we yearn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. Crashes, spins on the track. Up and down, who's coming back? Champions rise, no slack. Push to the front, never back. Pit stops, precision, gold. Strategy, daring, bold. Who will lead, not foretold. Speed and skill, tales unfold. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride.
Just one more thing before I go. Before I let you take the throne. You go right and I stay left. And if you ever get too close, you'll know my name before I go. They love me, then they love you now. But don't forget there's one more round. Oh, the pain, I know it will, but I wear it like a crown. I am a fighter. Before this fight is over, you'll know my name before
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to NFR, welcome back to SAFRL Season 14. Of course, today, round 6, we've had mystery races, we've had sprint races. Tonight, back to the more traditional format, at a very traditional circuit. Of course, we're at the circuit Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Just over 7 kilometers, longest circuit on the calendar. Of course, in its previous form, it was 14 kilometers. But that track would definitely not be suitable for modern Formula One cars. Let me know in the comment section if you've been up to date with the 2026 cars and all the problems that they appear to be having. What do you think of the 2026 season? I was very excited, but seems pretty concerning. Some cars already getting out on track. Of course, you've got to be careful when you come here to Belgium. Like I say, it is the longest circuit on the calendar, so it does take a while to get around this circuit. And qualifying isn't any longer. Short qualifying stays 18 minutes, regardless the length of the track. So you've got to make sure you get out there early, because if one or two of those runs go wrong, you need to maximize your time in qualifying. You don't have as much time as you would in a circuit like Austria or Brazil. Currently looking at Big T, one of the Alpine drivers here tonight. You can see there's 20 drivers in the lineup, and there's a lot of quick drivers in the lineup. So if you're not one of those quick drivers, good luck to you. Of course, we've got Thiago, Smurf, we've got Milk, Midas, Logic, some big names. Big T, Scar, Top Gun, another one, Jonas, we've got Virus, we've got Skull, we've got Skulk, Lebby, got Osman, the Doc, Kellogg's, love the name Kellogg's, and of course Miguel, just making his name longer, Miguel de Sarosha. Wow. Then you've got Spikes, Ash Cartoon, and Andre making up the field of 20. Sometimes, I think it was last week, we had 20 drivers, but by the time we got to the race we only had 19, so hopefully everybody holds together. You're looking at the Sauber. Should I say the Audi? Doesn't feel right to say Sauber anymore. Still no lap times up on your screen. Smurf, of course, 20 drivers, so everybody does have their teammate here today. Some of them may be reserve drivers. If you happen to have got a reserve driver that's an alien, well, thank you to your Constructors' Championship. Looking at that Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way, but it's still pretty tight. 134 points. Second place, Racing Bulls, 127 points. They got a brilliant result last week. And then Haas still in it with 101. As far as the Drivers' Championship goes, Miguel leads the way on 103 points. Midas, 83 points in second place. Gap is widening. It's only round 6. Drivers need to close that gap or hope for the misfortunes of Miguel later tonight. We have a caution in Sector 3. Bring up some telemetry for all of you at home so you've got a better idea of what's going on. I was going to say nothing too special in the tyres column. Everybody on a set of softs, but not exactly. Thiago on a set of mediums, doing something a little different. Not quite sure what he's doing, but there's the first lap time over the board. It's a 141.2. That is Big T. Second best is Top Gun, 144.1. That's a That's a big drop. Osman goes P2, 43.2. Andre, 43.3. I'm starting to come in. Look at that. Jonas, second driver into the 41s. But still a big gap between the two. 7/10 of a second. Cover that front row. 41.2, 41.9. And those are the only two drivers in the 41s. Then I was going to say the only driver in the 42s, but now there's two of them, Skulk and Milk. Both Ferraris have gone over the line. 144.5 and a 145.2 for Scar and Harsh Cartoon. P10 and 11 for now, but still a lot of drivers yet to set their lap times. Caution in Sector 2. Or sometimes in qualifying, that's just, as you can see there up the road, cars going slowly, getting off the line, trying to give everybody a fair lap. And then it comes up as a caution, simply because somebody's going very slowly on that part of the circuit. Went to Skull at a unfortunate time. He spins that one round, gives the crowd a show. Will be back on his way. This is Levy, still looking for his first lap of the evening. The second Alpine, Doc, still looking for his first lap. Kellogg's on an out lap. Miguel is in the pits. No lap time from the Drivers' Championship leader. We just saw Doc going off there. Thiago 157.7. That was on a set of mediums. Sandbagging to a new level. See my poll. 60% of you believe it's going to be a... yeah. Quite the show. This is Skull still looking for his first lap. That track map is lit up in red, so this will be an invalidated lap. He needs to go around and do another. Now Kellogg's. I've done it again. I was thinking to myself, why can't I hear the cars? What's going on? Look down on the table. There are the headphones. Much better when you can hear the cars. This is Levy. He's currently gone P6. He's just ahead of his teammate. 42.5 and a 42.8. 3/10 between the teammates. Lots of cars now in the pits. All of the top runners. Big T, Jonas, Midas, Logic. 41.2, 41.9. Still just two drivers. Midas awfully close to the 41s, but not quite. 0.02 of a second away. This is Spikes through that final chicane. Let's see what he can do over the line. Will this be his first time of the evening? Yes, it is. Takes him up to the midfield. Right in the midfield, up to P10. Personally, I would like to start as close to the front or as close to the rear rather than P10. Things get a little intense, especially at this circuit, turn 1. Be careful. Welcome to Ubuntu. In the chat, also welcome to Death Queen. Thiago's in the chat as well as in the pits. Not sure about how the team bosses would feel about the drivers playing on social media in between qualifying laps. That would be entertaining. Looking at Skull, he has done 2 laps on that set of soft tires. Still looking for his first lap time. Of course, he did switch off 1 or 2 assists at the beginning of the season, and that's just given him a much more difficult car to drive. You don't have the same confidence you would have when there's that little assist there that can catch you when you make a slight mistake. All of that's gone. It's all on you. And over a 7-kilometer circuit can be quite difficult to stitch the whole thing together. Now you're looking at Miguel, championship leader, yet to set a lap time. Mercedes also the constructors leaders, that is Miguel and Andre. Just now on board with the Mercedes. Let's see what he can come up with. This will be his first timed lap. Using all of the curb, not too much to de-settle the car, and goes up into P2. Just a tenth ahead of Jonas. Wouldn't even call that a tenth. That's more like 400ths ahead of Jonas. And Big T still clear out ahead. 41.2, still the time to beat. And look at this view. Absolutely fantastic. Little known fact. Prior to World War II, very bottom of what we call Eau Rouge, that used to be the Dutch-Belgian border. It has since moved. Big T goes quicker, rubs it in. Time was a 41.2. It looked unbeatable. Nobody's gotten quite close. It is beatable. Big T beat it. 41.0. Jonas goes quicker. Closes the gap slightly. 41.5. The gap now on the front row. Half a second. Miguel P3. He's done that initial lap time of 41.8. He's going to want to go around and try again. Get closer to that P1. But if he's going to do that, he needs to find himself almost a second, 9/10 of a second. And that's if Big T doesn't try extend that a little further. Good evening to everyone watching the stream. Good to have you. A few of you here now. I see 20 drivers in the lineup. Busy session, and not only 20 drivers in the lineup. Look at some of these names. Some big names in SA Sim Racing here tonight. Big T, Jonas, Midas, Miguel, Logic. You know what Lebby can do when he's on his night. So many of these drivers, even the drivers I'm not speaking of, on their night, can be very, very quick. The two Ferraris currently 17 and 18. Want to get a little higher up the order. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing for the upcoming 2026 season. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think is going to be in Melbourne, Australia, race 1? Who's going to be the top team and who's going to be the bottom team? Or do you think it's going to be really close? And I don't think it's going to be really close. Apparently there are some pretty big issues with the Aston Martin gearbox. That means Honda needs to basically withhold quite a bit of power. And at the moment, Aston Martin is estimated to be 4.5 seconds a lap off the pace. And it may bring to Australia a rule that many F1 fans aren't even that aware of. Doesn't happen very often. The 107% qualifying rule. Depending on the circuit, that comes up to about 4.5 to 5 seconds off pole position. Of course, if you don't qualify within that time, well, you don't start the race. Believe it or not, that is a rule in F1. We just haven't seen it in ages because we haven't seen a field spread that far in a very long time. But I think 2026 is going to be that season. Looking for drivers on laps. Here is one. This is Virus. 42.9 is his current best. He'd love to get himself into the lower 42s. Maybe a 41. Let's see what happens. That's the chrome livery McLaren, the best looking one. And Virus just judging the brakes, taking it too deep, wanting a little too much from turn one. He's going to have to do that again. This is Osman on an outlap. He's one of the two Haas drivers. The other one up in P3. I actually noticed Haas has quietly put themselves up into P3 in this Constructors' Championship, and they're not far off. You know, you get a P1 and 2 at a race, and, well, that's 44 points, and that swings that lead very quickly. Problem is, the team they're all trying to catch, well, they're pretty consistent. And both are podium contenders. We've seen Andre on the podium more than once. Become a common occurrence at this point. And another thing to note, 20 cars, very fast race circuit. Things are probably going to happen. I'd love to see 20 cars at the end of this race. I'm going to be honest with you. Just don't see it. Of course, last week we got our first safety car of the entire season. What will happen tonight with 20 drivers in the field around a circuit that requires bravery, and sometimes drivers forget where that limit is. Let's go Milky. That is a message from the comment section. I assume that is for the driver in P11. Milk. 42.7. That's his current best lap time. Looking for something a little better. He doesn't need to find too much time. In fact, if he finds himself 2/10, he could go as high as 7th. Pretty close there in the midfield. Then look at these top drivers. 141.141.0. 41.5, 41.7, 41.8. That's the top four. Really close. Logic really close. 42.0, but not quite in the 41s. That's not what you want to see. Lebby's on the grass. A big caution in Sector 2. On see how much time is remaining, or if there's any time remaining. Session may be over. I think the session is over. Everybody's taking the checkered flag. This will be the final run. This is Kellogg's over the line. Does he improve? 42.5. Yes, he does. 42.1. Nicely done. 0.4 of a second on that final run. That's a final run you can be happy with. This is Jonas. 41.5 is his best lap. Goes past an Aston Martin. Hopefully that won't distract him too much on his final run. And then Big T. He's about to go over the line. Does he improve? Yes, he does. And that is officially rubbing salt into the wounds. A 140.9. 41 flat, not quite enough. Jonas over the line does improve, but just by a 10th. It's not enough. 41.4. It's going to be good enough for P2. Logic P3. And everyone has taken the checkered flag. What a qualifying session. It went by so quickly, of course. Just 18 minutes 20 drivers to make their way around this circuit. So difficult to find a clean lap. So often one run can be invalidated, another one you can run into traffic. Then on such a long circuit, time runs out. Really, the most you can get is 3 runs. Those are your results. Big T, P1, then Jonas, P2. He's Brazilian. Benvendo. Then P3 is Logic, Midas P4. We've got Miguel in P5. Miguel in P5. What a field. Spikes P6, Kellogg's P7. Then you've got Skulk P8, Virus P9, Osman 10, Lebby 11, Smurf 12, Milk 13. Look how they improved at the end. Milk went 7th briefly, down to 13. Thiago P14, Andre 15, Top Gun 16. Then you got Harsh Cartoon, Scar, The Doc, and Skull. Oh, oh, oh. Got to say it, folks. I did predict a few incidents in the race, maybe a few penalties, maybe even a few safety cars, but got to say I completely forgot about this. Rain was simply not in the equation in my mind. When the screen flipped over and I saw this, I was like, oh yes, it rains in this part of the world. It's quite common, and well, these drivers are going to have a little bit more of a difficult race than I expected a few moments ago. Rain in Spa. And you're lucky it's just a game, because if it were real, well, they'd be starting behind a safety car. Wonder now if all of the drivers were aware of the rain. Did everybody check the weather? Hopefully that is the case. Hopefully nobody showed up at the grid and was as shocked as I was. Like I say, made predictions about safety cars, maybe some penalties. I just forgot all about this aspect. It's raining. Of course, this could turn lighter, could dry up, could stay like this throughout the entire race, get worse. You don't really know. Now we get the dual green lights. Drivers off for a formation lap. Look at that turn 1. Lap 1, that turn gets awfully busy. You see all sorts of positions in front of you. You think to yourself, I can take 1 car, I can take 2, maybe 3. Get carried away and, oh, look at this. Up ready on. In the wet. You see the drivers there with the green wall tires. That means they're on the intermediate tire. So these aren't the worst possible conditions. The entire field on the intermediate tire. Everyone seems to be in agreement that while the rain is falling, it's nothing too serious. Any of the drivers, or anyone in communication with one of the drivers, knows a little bit more about this weather, let me know. Do you know? Is it going to get worse? Is it going to light up? Or are we looking at the majority of the race? Or all of the race? Seeing a bunch of DSQs. Not sure why that is. Some drivers just getting tangled up. Of course, misbehave on the formation lap, you get that DSQ. Fortunately, that is not a DSQ from the race. say DSQ from the formation lap. You will get sent to your grid spot, and you will sit there patiently while all of these drivers drive around a very long race circuit. It's an awfully long wait. Of course, biggest problem with that is if you are out there on the formation lap and you are trying to prep your tires, prep your brakes, get some temperature for that turn one, those drivers sitting on the grid, well, they can do nothing to prep those tires. It's just cooling down. It's raining. In F1 terms, they're ice cold. Seems to have an issue with one of the drivers, unfortunately, at the rear of the field. Skull getting a message here in the comment section that his wheel, not working or not reacting the way he'd like. We wait for the 5 red lights. There'll be a pause, and when they go off, we'll be underway. It's going to be an RB versus an Alpine into turn 1. Maybe a Red Bull will get involved. Look at Miguel, he's up to P3, or at least he was briefly. All about turn 1. Can everybody get through here clearly? Do you see any carbon fiber flying? I don't know. A lot of mist in the background. Doesn't seem like anybody's dropping down the order too quickly, so I think everybody did get through turn 1 pretty unscathed. This Skull's wheel is not working, but he has made up 2 positions at the start of the race. There he is. Surely with some of those assists he has switched off. This is not the weather he would have liked to see. If I'm not mistaken, he's one of those drivers that used to like the wet. Not sure if he still likes the wet. Big T leads the way. Jonas in P2, Miguel P3. Remember, in the rain, DRS means nothing. There is no DRS. You're going to make an overtake, you're going to do it the old-fashioned way, or with a little bit of battery management. Something we'll be speaking a lot more of when the 2026 game comes out. Battery management. It's going to be the main topic of discussion. Big T leads the way. Jonas P2, Miguel still P3. Now a gap starting to form to the rest of the field. Midas trying to hold on. 1.1 seconds. Then Spikes. Kellogg's right behind him. Skull, Logic. Another one of those very quick drivers. Just looking to make his way through the field. Questions. What will this weather do? Will it dry out? Will it get worse? Will we go to the blue tire? Of course, we have seen many races that, well, it's just stayed like this throughout. So out of all the tracks we do, this is going to be the one with the least amount of laps because it's the longest. It's 22 laps. A 7-kilometer circuit. Apologies to Midas. I said he wasn't holding on. Well, he's come right back into it. The battle of 3 is now the battle of 4. Fortunately, Spikes further 2.5 seconds back, and he's going to start coming under pressure. Kellogg's P6. Got Skulk P7, Logic P8, Lebby 9. Osman making his way up into the points. Then you got the second Red Bull of Smurf. Everybody trying to navigate their way around this circuit. Everybody still on the intermediate tire. That means no change yet. Comment deleted. What was the comment? What was the comment? I want to know what the comment was so I can read it out on stream. Should I read it out? Probably not. Probably a reason it was deleted. Oh, wow, I've been looking for my phone for about half an hour, and now I just heard it vibrate. It's somewhere near. I just still can't see it. Now it's going to annoy me. No idea where this phone is. Big T, 156.8. Those lap times are just going to come down regardless of if it dries up or not. Even if the conditions stay like this, I believe those lap times will come down as the cars get lighter and really as the drivers get more and more confident in these conditions. First couple of laps might just tiptoe around a little bit. A lot of the drivers may have practiced. Not many of them would have done many laps in the wet. A busy lobby and a busy stream tonight. Good to have all of you here. Let me know in the comment section who were you supporting. And of course, if you want me to give a race update on any driver or focus on any driver, let me know in the comment section. There's 20 of them here and it's going to be very difficult to cover everyone. So if you're here to support a particular driver and you want an update on that driver, just let me know. Big T, Jonas, Miguel. Big T actually starting to get away at the front. That qualifying pace starting to translate into race pace. Making the difference on the track, 2.1 seconds. Nothing Jonas can do to reel him back. Needs to get on it. That is exactly what a driver who is pushing to his limit does not want to hear from a race engineer. You've got to get on it. What do you think I'm doing? Big T, 156.5. Every single lap just taking another 10th, taking another 10th. The Doc gets a 3-second penalty. First driver in the penalties column. Like it's saying Logic making a return after a year. Not sure. It's been a while. Speaking of Logic, there he is. He's the leading Red Bull. The other Red Bull just outside the points in P11. Logic in P8. I know he's a quick driver. I've commentated on many times before. Maybe that's why he's in P8. Maybe just a little rusty. A few more weeks of this, and I expect we'll see him right where he should be. Back at the front, Big T, 2.6. So he's taken another half a second out of the lead since the last time we looked. Then Jonas. Then Miguel. And those positions seem to be pretty solidified for now. Nice gaps between the top three. What tends to happen in weather-affected races. No DRS. When one car slightly slower than the other, that DRS gives the slower car the ability to just be towed around a little longer. When there's no DRS, a car that is simply quicker. Well, the timesheets say it all. Big T even faster, another purple lap, collecting them at this stage. Is the driver in P4, chasing down your championship leader. Leading the championship. Probably in the first couple of rounds, he thought, well, I'm going to take this championship. Things are looking easy. It's nothing easy here at SAFRL. The fight continues. Miguel down to P4. It's now Midas that's making up ground. Remember, there's no real tire battles here, at least for the moment. Sometimes we'd be speaking at this stage about softer compounds falling off, the harder compounds, the track coming to them, but everybody's on the same set of tires. Everybody's feeling just about the same thing, depending on the setup of the car. Of course, if you set this car up for a dry race, you might not be enjoying yourself too much. Down to the driver in P12, that is Milk. Long way to go in this race, lap 5 of 22. Still 20 drivers in the field, good to see. Just the one driver on a penalty, that is Stock, and I believe it's a 3-second penalty, so nothing serious. See what appears to be some polystyrene flying in the background. Jonas still falling back 3.4 seconds. He's probably hoping this weather can go away and get himself onto a set of slicks and try something different. Catch Big T that way. On this set of mediums, Big T just seems to have a little step on the opposition. Imagine not only being an alien, but being an alien amongst aliens. That should be his new title. Alien amongst aliens. Of course, in these conditions, you tend to hit the brakes a little bit quicker. You tend to lift a little bit more. So that tends to charge your battery a lot faster. The guys can use that battery a lot more and know they can recover the energy pretty quickly. Of course, one of the concerning things about the 2026 Formula One cars is how much energy is going to play a part. Fernando Alonso saying there are corners in Bahrain that he's going 50 kilometers an hour slower than he was going last season, simply because he still needs there to be energy for the final straight. So if you're having trouble on the game with energy management now, well, it's about to get a lot worse. Big T completes another lap. Jonas in pursuit, 2.9 seconds. He's actually closed that gap a little bit. Either he's finding a little bit of confidence, finding a little bit of time, or Big T made a mistake. Briefly went back into the twos, now back to 3.1 seconds. It was just a little scare for the leader. And we've had our first retirement. Caution in Sector 3. That's all it appears to be. Just a small part of the circuit lit up in yellow, so I don't think we'll see a safety car or anything like that. That is our first retirement. It's one of the Alpines. It's the Doc. Wouldn't it be great to have replays so we could go and see exactly what happened? Fortunately, that was off camera. We won't know what happened unless the Doc decides to join the comment section. If you're listening to the stream in the background, jump in the comment section. Let us know what happened. What caused you to be the first retiree? First victim of Spa-Francorchamps. Every time there's a silence, it's because I'm looking for that vote. It's so annoying. Big T, Jonas, Midas. Down to the Aston Martin driver. Last time we checked, he was in P12. Still in P12. Of course, even if you feel like you don't have the pace to get into the points, you just got to keep on driving, keep on pushing. So much can happen in this race. A safety car could come out at the wrong time, right in the middle of a pit window, flip the whole script, flip the whole timesheet. Really, anything can happen at this point. On lap 8 of 22, we get now a second caution. This is Skull coming into the pits. Car ghosting. This is a Ferrari coming into the pits. A lot happening here at the rear of the field. I'm not sure what's happened, but Harsh Cartoon, Skull, Scar, Andre, all into the pits. Harsh Cartoon's coming for a set of hards. Oh wow, I thought we almost lost visuals there. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Not sure if you've seen that. Look at the bottom of the field, folks. Look at the bottom of the field. They're doing something different. Harsh Cartoon, Skull, Scar, Andre, all on slick tires. Everyone at the front, still on a set of intermediates. You can see that rain. I don't see any rain. You see any spray? I don't see any spray. I think it's time. We've had 8 laps of fun. Now it's time to get on the slicks and set some real lap times. See how much that is going to help those 4 drivers at the rear of the field. Those were the four drivers that reacted first. So if the circuit was indeed ready for slicks, they would have made up quite a bit of time on this lap. Top 4 all into the pits. Will Kellogg's follow? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Kellogg's. All the other drivers into the pits. Kellogg says, no, I'm staying out on track. And he's going to take the lead of this race. And the fastest lap of this race for now. But for how much longer? Is there a fear of a double stack with his teammate? I'm not sure what happened, but Kellogg's decided to stay out on a drying circuit on a set of intermediates. I wonder what the thinking was there. Big T in P2, but he has made a pit stop. He's on a brand new set of hard tires. Jonas P3, also brand new set of hard tires. That gap 2.2 seconds for what will essentially be the lead. Not in a couple of corners from now, in a couple of laps from now. Levy P4, Midas P5, Miguel P6. Not having things all his own way. He's quick, but SAFRL has many in that category. Kellogg's leads the way, but track has dried up, and your leader is on a set of intermediate tires, and that's confirmation of a dry track. DRS is enabled. That is absolute confirmation of a dry track. And anyone on a set of intermediates wants to come into the pits as soon as possible. There we go. Confirmation, Kellogg's into the pits. And that means Jonas will take his rightful place at the front. Miguel up into P2. Then Midas P3. Doc still the only retirement. Lots happening in the pits. Too much happening in the pits to make any sense of it. So let's just go to the front. See where everyone lands up. It's Jonas at the front, 4.6 seconds. Then Midas, Miguel, Kellogg's, Logic, Spikes, Skulk, Lebby, Osman, Big T on a set of mediums. What happened there? Sure what's happened there. Did he come in for a set of tires and then come in the next lap for a set of mediums? Oh, that sounds silly, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. He came in with the rest of the leaders, and now he's got a brand new set of mediums, 1 lap less than everyone else. Wonder if he put on the wrong set of tires, then came in the very next lap to swap them. You know, in the comment section, if you know, will those mediums go to the end of the race, 12 laps on the mediums? Sounds reasonable on any other circuit, but this is a 7-kilometer circuit. It's not just any lap. Lap around here is more than 2 laps of Monaco. Jonas 49, 48 for Midas. It's going to come down and down and down. The track's going to keep on getting better. Cars are getting lighter and lighter. Tires are getting up to temperature. Logic 48.2. And we have our second retirement. Again, seems to just be a caution. That is the end of Lebby. Didn't see what happened, but I think that was a retirement in the pits. It was on the pit straight, and he's got a set of hard tires with 0 laps on it. So I think that is a pit stop retirement. Surrendering to the Spa circuit, wanting no further part of this layout. On to next week. Of course, next week, something special again. Here at SAFRL. SAFRL. Almost forgot the name. Of course, going to be a mystery circuit, but not quite a mystery circuit. Got 3 options. We might race at 1 of 3 circuits. We just don't know which one. Will be a reverse layout. Either the Netherlands, Britain, or Austria. Let me know in the comment section which one of those reverse layouts is your favorite. My favorite is Austria. There's just this one hairpin there that clearly was not designed to be driven in that direction. Other than that, it works as a reverse circuit. Logic 46.7, going quicker and quicker, finding time now in the dry. Maybe didn't enjoy himself too much in the wet. Of course, if it's true that he's been away from the game for quite some time, maybe did some practice before the race, but majority of those laps, if not all of those laps, would have been in the dry. Then he was met with a wet start to the race. Did a good job of getting through that if he's unpracticed in the wet. And now in the dry, seems to have a little bit of pace. It's up into P4, 9.6 seconds away from the podium. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch up to the top 3. Speaking of the top 3, Jonas 4.3 seconds up the road. That is information I didn't know. Logic. His last 3 fastest laps were done without DRS. Now Jonas, 4.3 seconds. That gap holds firm for now. Midas P2, but that gap is much, much smaller. 0.5 of a second, and now DRS is in play. Of course, that first stint of the race, it was wet. We were on enters. But now, get all your tools again. You get all your toys. There it is. The rear wing opens up. It's just going to allow him to get so much closer. He probably is not going to make the move into turn 1. Was nowhere near. But now you can just line yourself up. Down Eau Rouge, up Radion. And just wait for the inevitable. quite disheartening for the driver that's in front. Driver behind you gets DRS and all sorts of fun. All you have is your draining battery, and you know what's about to happen. Closer and closer, P2, P3, far from decided. Logic 9.6 seconds away in P4. And this become a race of 4 drivers or more. This is Kellogg's. Did something different when everybody came into the pits. He actually stayed out, held on to track position, took the lead of the race briefly for 1 lap. Came in, got a set of hards. Now finds himself up in P5. Towards the bottom of the field, both Ferraris, Harsh Cartoon, P15, Scar 18. It's the second Mercedes. So strong in season 14. It's not enjoying Belgium much tonight. Down in P16. Be another good night for the RBs. Of course, one currently leading the race, the other one comfortably inside the points. That is the team chasing Mercedes. Of course, as things stand, only one Mercedes is going to score points. Also a Haas up there in P2. Haas are third in the championship, both of them in the points. In fact, Osman's just gone up into P8. Championship getting closer. It looked like Mercedes were going to run away with things. They're reeling them back in. Will they be able to absorb the pressure? Crumble under it? Down in P8, this is Osman, the second Haas. Thought he made an overtake on circuit. That was a change in position because somebody came into the pits. I think that was Skulk that came into the pits. Osman moves up 1 position. This is Big T on a set of mediums doing something slightly different. Wish I could ask Big T what exactly happened there, because it almost seems like he made 2 pit stops in 2 laps. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I also could have missed something entirely. Strong possibility. Midas P2, but it hasn't been a comfortable P2. He has had to defend and defend and defend, and every time he looks in his mirrors, there it is, the Mercedes. No respite. Spike. Speaking of pressure, Spikes is coming under pressure. I think he's actually lost that position. Yes, he has. Kellogg's up into P5. These 3 having an absolute blast. Look at this. Kellogg's, Spikes, Big T. Sometimes we don't spend too much time in the midfield and we miss all sorts of things. There was definitely contact. Definitely contact between Spikes and Big T. Looks like Big T just got off the throttle, gave Spikes the position back. I don't see any damage to either of those cars. Unfortunately, just some tire rubbing. Rubbing that Pirelli branding off the tire. That's right, Milk is up into the top 10. Thanks for pointing that out. There we go, not only P10, he's up into P9. Into the points. So much can happen in this race. 22 laps, but they're 22 very long laps. It's a quick circuit. Drivers are on edge. Stakes aren't far away. And if you're one of the drivers who can make sure he's there at the end, well, there's a good chance you'll be in the points. This is the car of Skull, but I assure you Skull is not driving it. That car is coasting around at the back of the circuit. That's unfortunate. Virus goes past into P16. Jonas, 4.5 seconds. 4.6. He's just got that little extra on everybody else. And then I think what's also helping Jonas is P2 and P3. They're chasing each other. When you're attacking, when you're defending, concentration is not all on closing the gaps ahead. It's rather on the car that's around you. And I wonder if P2 and 3 are just making this race a little easier for Jonas by getting involved in their own little tussle. I don't think we'll see anything like that from them, but I have seen teammates basically not really engage except for slingshotting each other occasionally with DRS. Does tend to help. These two are not teammates. They're fighting for position. Jonas may be checked out, but P2 still very much on the cards, and both of these drivers want it. I'm just going to say it because I can. Even if you're not a cricket fan and you don't care about the World Cup, Australia is out in the group stages because they lost to, well, this is where it gets even better. They lost to Zimbabwe. Shouldn't make too much fun. We might just lose to Zimbabwe. Of course, I was at the Women Proteas game on Friday night and then again on Monday night. Both of them were at Willamore Park in Benoni, not too far from me. First and second match, fantastic. Third one, not so much. Who has got a very iconic voice? Jonas leads the way, Midas P2, then we've got Miguel in P3. He's still fighting for that P2. When is he going to take it? He's close. Is it that he can't get close enough? Or is it that he doesn't want to take the position just yet? He's within a second. We haven't really seen him get close enough to go for the overtake. Ah, thank you. I have a very iconic voice. I appreciate that. Iconic. Learned a new word. Iconic. Love it. Jonas still out front, then Midas. They're still pushing for that P2. Midas still defending, absorbing the pressure lap after lap. It's a lot more difficult than it looks. And that's for both of those drivers. One defending. Got to absorb pressure, corner after corner. The one attacking. You've got to keep that momentum up. It does get draining. And if you're not well rehearsed, if you're not well practiced, it tends to show in the final stint of the race. As for Jonas, he's done nothing wrong. Was not the quickest driver in qualifying. That's not what counts. Nobody gets any points for qualifying. Take all the pole positions you want. You don't finish any races, you're finishing on 0 points. So Jonas out in front when it's needed. Jonas, Midas, 3.4 seconds. Does he have anything in him? Anything that could close this gap? I think it would take a mistake from the driver up the road. Miguel, P3, championship leader, doesn't want to see his championship lead get any smaller. But he needs to make a move in the coming laps. There is a ghosting Ferrari. Is that a ghosting Ferrari or a Ferrari being lapped? Is a Ferrari being lapped. That is Scar down in P18. And no driver here tonight should feel any form of embarrassment for being lapped, because this field is insane. Jonas, Midas, Miguel, Logic. Kellogg's has shown his worth too. Another very quick driver, and I think if he gets it all right on a night, he can be an alien in his own right. I didn't mean to rhyme there. Lap 19 of 22. This race has gone by so quick. Wonder how many of these drivers would feel about incorporating maybe 1 or 2 rounds on the calendar that are 100% races. The endurance of this circuit, 44 laps. Takes a lot out of you. Jonas, 4 seconds. The gap did drop down to approximately, I think it was 3.4 seconds briefly. Thought he was losing a bit of time. Midas was making a bit of time. But whatever he was doing, maybe just a little mistake, maybe just charging up the battery, maybe just a bit of a daydream. It was a race, if I'm not mistaken, it was in France, where Schumacher basically beat Mika Häkkinen, but by quite some margin. And after the race, they asked Mika Häkkinen how he felt about Schumacher finishing so far up the road. Mika responded with, he was so far up the road, he could have crashed and still beat me. Jonas is not that far up the road. 4.1 seconds can disappear very quickly with the smallest of mistakes. All you need to do is miss a braking point, take a trip through the gravel, and this race is back on. 20 of 22, 21 of 22, so we are safe from any possible safety cars. There's not enough time in the race for any of that to happen. Going to be a race down to the end. 4.1 seconds still the gap between the top two. I think Jonas has got this in his pocket, just needs to bring it home. There is Jonas. There is Midas. Still doing such a good job. I really thought these two would be fighting. They would be swapping positions. Midas P2, then Miguel P2, but they've just held station. If they were teammates, I'd say this is probably team orders, just finish in order. But they're definitely not teammates. They're racing each other for a championship. And this gap has just held firm for over 10 laps. I will say it again, it's impressive from both. It's impressive from the one who's defending corner after corner. And it's impressive from the one who's got to keep attacking corner after corner. Following that driver, studying his every move, waiting for that slightest mistake where you can stick your nose in and make the position. At this point, he's not close enough. 0.8 of a second. He needs to get himself within 0.4. He's got any hope. There we go. That gap actually just briefly went over a second, but fortunately he does still get DRS. Was under a second when it needed to be. Jonas has started his final lap and he's going up Radion for the final time. Big T, 3-second time penalty. How will that affect his race? Not too much. Osman is 5.5 seconds behind him, so he should be able to hold on to that position. 9.7 seconds behind Spikes. Looks like P7 will be it for Big T. Race that promised a lot more. Still Midas, still Miguel, Logic still P4. Wasn't able to do much to the top three, but he was able to cement P4, make it his own. 8 seconds up the road from the next driver. And if we start to see more of Logic on a Tuesday night, I believe that pace is only going to go in one direction, and that is up. I wasn't aware that it was a return, and if it is a return, that is a very impressive drive considering who you're driving with. There we go. Jonas appears out of the chicane for the final time. Does a bit of a weave over the line. P1 minus P2. Miguel pushed and pushed and pushed, but it wasn't enough. Goes over the line in P3. Next car we're waiting for is the Red Bull. There we go. That's the end of that for Logic P4. And it was quite the race. We had an awesome qualifying session, so close. Started off in the wet, ended in the dry. One or two drivers, especially this one, might be a little disappointed. P7 for Big T. What could have been? Could have been a lot more. You got Skulk in P8, Osman P9, and Milk will come over the line to pick up that final point. He had support in the comment section, so maybe that just gave him a little bit of an extra boost, got him into the points. Top Gun, rather Smurf P11, Top Gun P12. Where is Harsh Cartoon? There he is. He appears around the corner to take P13. Waiting for Andre. Will probably be one of his first races this season. He hasn't been able to pick up points. He's been so consistent. Now he's trying to crash his car. Unacceptable. Toto Wolff wants a word. This is Toto Wolff's going to take you back to Austria and have a word. My home country of Austria. We wait now for the results, but before we get the results, we need to get the insane podium celebration. That would probably get you quite the fine from the FIA. Now we've got Jonas, race winner. Fastest lap goes to Big T. Skulk gets driver of the day. Virus gets the most overtakes. And Skulk again for cleanest driver. There are your final results. Jonas takes the win. Got a Brazilian flag next to his name. Midas P2, then Logic. Logic picks up P3. Then we've got Kellogg's P4, Spikes P5, Big T P6. Skulk P7, Osman P8, Milk P9. Everybody's moved up one position. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Smurf P10. Then we've got Top Gun 11, Harsh Cartoon 12, Andre 13, Virus 14. Will my controller just work with me? Then we've got Tiago 15. Seems to be Miguel. Miguel down in P16, but that is not where he finished. So stewards will have to look at that. Not quite sure what happened there. But on our results, we see Miguel with 0 points next to his name, and that is clearly incorrect. The admin will have a look at that, and next time I speak to you next week, I'll let you know what happened if you don't know yet. Of course, next week, we can bring up that calendar real quick. Next week, we head to a mystery track. Going to be one of the reverse circuits. I don't know which one. None of the drivers know which one. I'm not even sure of the procedure, but I presume I'm going to spin a wheel next week, and that will reveal where we will be racing. It could be Silverstone, Zandvoort, or Spielberg in reverse. Of course, then we head off to Singapore, Interlagos, Vegas, one more mystery race, and end where all seasons end. Yas Marina. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We actually got almost got double the amount of views we usually get. So I think some of these big names bringing views to the channel, bringing interest to the channel. So thank you to everybody in the lobby, everybody who raced, everybody who entertained us here tonight. I'd have absolutely nothing to talk of, and I am quite the rambler, but you guys give me entertainment to talk about. And everybody in the comment section, everybody watching, I see there's quite a few of you. Not all of you are commenting, so I don't know how many of you are here, but thank you to everybody who watched, everybody who supports the channel, and I expect and I hope to see you all here next week for the mystery race. I think I can switch off my PlayStation. Can I switch off my PlayStation? The controller is annoying me. I need a new controller. Fantastic. Of course, in our modern economy, gamers are so broke that PlayStation has released a new package in the United States, only available in the United States and Canada for the time being. And yeah, you can rent a PlayStation 5. Well, you're not actually renting it, you're leasing it. You can lease a PlayStation 5 for 3 years at the cost of $20 a month. And that does not include a controller. Controller, well, that's another $9 a month. And after 3 years, no, it's not yours. The economy in 2026. Before I go, one more time, thank you all. I'll leave you with a bit of music, and I'll speak to you all again next week, Tuesday, when we reveal where we will be racing backwards. Till next time, cheers.